Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Nixie. How you doing? How you doing? Hi, Vesting. Hi, Name Nick. Hi, Revy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Is everything? Are we all good? I think we're all good. I haven't done this a lot, so I gotta make sure everything's good. Hold on. Let me make sure. It's a flare. What's up? Is my voice okay? Does it have the effects that I think it has? Or am I looking like an idiot? I see your NPC. Hi, hello Fenrir. Hello, hello. Hi Zen. Hi Kenshi. How you guys doing? Welcome back. You guys really enjoyed the last time we did the scary storytelling stuff. Your voice makes me go meow meow. Your voice is definitely having an effect. Good, good, good. Well, that's wonderful. How's everyone doing today? I'm bored. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 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 I mean, that's good. No, that's really good. We have a few stories for you today. I've pulled a few that we can read. As always, we're gonna have a few of them that we read. Not all of them are gonna be super long. Hi, hello, how are you? But we have a bunch of them that I grabbed. I have like 4 or 5 here for you guys. And I'm gonna let you guys decide based on title alone. What do you want to hear first, okay? So, are you guys ready? You guys ready to hear what we've got? It's gonna be a creepy one, I think, today. I hope, at least. Hold on, let me adjust my mic real quick. Okay, all right. Okay. So, we have all my neighbors stand in their windows at the same time every night. We have the previous tenant of my apartment left a list of rules taped inside the bathroom cabinet, and I've been breaking them. Hi, Zufa. Hello, hello. We have all my neighbors standing. Wait. Oh, fuck. Wait, shit. I already have. Sorry, I have that one. Sorry. We also have I lost 2 friends to those caves. Here's while I'm still alive. What do you think? What do we think? What should we start with first? I think the tenant one is kind of long. We might save that one for last. Hi, Zufa. Hey, Sue. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? We have another one as well. I want to see if this one's any good. Hold on. We have one about a mental asylum as well. That could be cool. Guys. Wait, what? What? No, I didn't say. There's no guys here, so don't worry. Going to the lurk while I'm playing Ghost of Yotai. Keep the voice going, it's intoxicating. Okay, we have ads. Okay, hold on. We'll wait for ads. Ad break, got it. But what did you mean? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. But yes, I think. Hey, how's it going? Hi, Rainy. How are you? How are you? Hope you're doing wonderful. I hope you're doing wonderful as well. I hope you're having an amazing day right now. Never mind. Okay. I did it good. I was actually nice to people yesterday. That's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Okay, I think I want to start with this one. So we'll wait till ads are over, and then we'll start with the neighbors. I think we'll start with this one. This one seems like a nice one to start with. Shit, wrong tab. Hi, Blitz. Thank you for the hydrate. reminding me I need to turn off all of the things. Hold on. Before we get really started here. Because I forget that those are a thing. That affected me a lot more than I thought it would. What, me calling you a good boy? Me saying I'm so proud of you? Okay, let me do this. Ba ba ba. God, I have so many. Okay. Alright, I think we are good. Okay. We're good. Hi, Ducky. How are you? It's nice to see you, cutie. It's nice to see you. How's your day going? Okay. Everyone back from ads? Everyone good? Alright, I'm assuming we're all good. We're gonna go ahead and start this story. This is by Wonderful Tart 9201. All my neighbors stand in their windows at the same time every night. My boyfriend and I recently moved into our first apartment in the city together. We're both from rural areas, so we tried to find a place that we thought would be quiet. We didn't want loud people or cars or sirens keeping us up at night. We ended up renting the second floor rear apartment in a small building. The apartments on the front side of the building face a busy street, but the apartments at the back of the building, like ours, face an alley, a small parking lot, and some other apartment buildings. We thought we would hear less noise. And we do hear less noise. At night in our bedroom, it gets so quiet that we can pretend we still live in the middle of nowhere. The only issue with the apartment is the view. All our windows face the apartment building next to us, or the apartment building behind us. It has made an opening the blinds feel awkward, like a bunch of strangers could peer into our apartment, so we usually keep the blinds down. Oh my god, it's a good puppy. Hi, how you doing? Welcome in for the first time. It took months for us to notice it. The first time we saw it, we had arrived home late from a concert. We took showers and talked about how beautiful the moon had looked on the drive home. My boyfriend wondered if we could see the moon from one of our windows, so we turned off the lights and pulled the blinds open. It was a little past 3 in the morning. We froze as soon as we looked out the window. The moon no longer interested us, because a person stood in the center of almost all of the other apartments' windows. Over 20 people staring out their windows with the lights on inside the apartments. Maybe they all wanted to see the moon too, my boyfriend suggested. But it didn't make any sense. With their lights on behind them, they wouldn't be able to see out of their windows well at all. I made my boyfriend shut the blinds. 10 minutes later, my boyfriend peered through the blinds again. Everyone is gone, he said. I looked outside. Every light was turned off, no signs of life anywhere. It was hard to fall asleep that night. The silence in our bedroom was disturbing, not peaceful. We had to turn on a white noise machine, and we agreed that tomorrow we would set an alarm for 3 in the morning and wait to see if it happened again. The next night, we sat by our bedroom window with the lights off and the blinds pulled open. At 3, all the lights were off. I counted. We could see. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate. Sorry. The next night, we sat by our bedroom window with the lights off and the blinds pulled open. At 3, all the lights were off. I counted, and we could see 46 windows from our vantage point. At 3:10, all the lights turned on at the exact same time. The people appeared in the windows. It was as if they'd been squatting beneath their windowsills. And then, at the same moment, they all stood up. Everyone was backlit, so it was difficult to make out their faces, but it looked like a mix of men, women, and children. Dude, this is fucking freaky. Hello, cute chaps. Hello. Hello, Psycho. It's nice to see you. How are you, darling? This is freaky as fuck, guys. What the fuck? Okay. At 3:13, they all sank down again, as if returning to their squatting positions beneath their windowsills. The lights abruptly turned off. My boyfriend and I looked at each other, unsure of what to do. It wasn't the sort of thing you could call the police about. For 3 nights, we set an alarm for 3, so we could look out the window. The same thing happened every time. My boyfriend wanted to investigate more. He wanted to ask the neighbors about it, but we're both shy and didn't know anyone in the city very well. I begged him not to, but on the 4th night, he wanted to go outside while it happened. I told him I would watch from inside our bedroom and call for help if something happened to him. At 3, my boyfriend stood in the parking lot. At 3:10, no lights came on. By 3:13, nothing had happened. He came back inside, and I thought it might be over, but he wanted to try again the next day. This time, waiting to step outside until after the people were standing in their windows. Oh, one second, sorry. Oh, sorry about that, guys. That night, the lights came on at the same time as usual. The people rose to stand at their windows. I watched the back door of our apartment building and saw my boyfriend come outside. He only made it a few steps in the door before he was frozen completely still, pausing in the middle of taking a step. The people disappeared at 3:13. A minute later, my boyfriend started to walk again. He looked up, scanning the dark windows of the apartment buildings, then came back inside. Guess it's not happening anymore, he said to me once he was back in our room. Do you think it didn't happen? Yeah, I didn't see anything out there. Did you see something? I told him what happened. It scared him enough that he decided we should stop investigating. It didn't affect us, he said, at first. I was happy to stop looking into it, but lately I've started to wonder. We've met some people in the apartment building behind us, and they seem so nice, so normal. I started to wonder if it's even them standing in the windows. Each time my boyfriend and I watch people standing in the windows, I've got a dark feeling in the pit of my stomach. Started to wonder if I need to warn someone. Hades, thank you for the 20 stream streak. What did we think about that one? That was kind of a shorter one, but god damn, bro, that would be freaky as fuck. Oh my gosh. Holy fucking shit. You can imagine? Can you fucking imagine, like, seeing, like, in a nice neighborhood? Jesus fucking Christ. But yes, it's a little creepy. It's nice, getting our toes, a little wet. It kind of reminded me of the movie Verarium. You know what I mean? Nick, thank you for that gifted sub. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Absolutely not. I'm so hyped. Hello, bunny. How are you? I would think I'm living next to a cult. That's the kind of vibes it gave me. It kind of gave me like the weird core vivarium kind of vibes. It's really, really weird. Okay, we have a few more that we could go into here. Hold on. Let me see. I think let's do this one. Hi, hello. How are you? It's nice to see everybody. Everybody good? Everybody good? Hello, Thigh High. Thigh High Boy, is that your name? That's awesome. Oh my god, Hades, thank you for the 550 biddies, sweetie. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. That's so sweet. Thank you, Hades. Oh my goodness. Here, I'll give you guys this for the biddies and the gifts and the stuff. I give you guys some kisses. Okay. I want to try this one. This one seems freaky. So this one is called "The previous tenant of my apartment left a list of rules taped inside the bathroom cabinet, and I've been breaking them." This one seems freaky, dude. And this one is by Untitled Doc 1 on Reddit. Is everyone ready? Okay. Alright, hold on, Let's get freaky, yeah. I moved into my apartment about 6 weeks ago. Studio, 3rd floor. Old building in a part of the city that used to be nice, and it's slowly deciding to be nice again. Rent was suspiciously reasonable, but the landlord seemed normal. The walls seemed solid, and I needed a place fast after my lease fell through. I signed without thinking twice. The first thing I noticed was how clean the bathroom was. Not landlord clean, obsessively clean. Sorry. The grout between the tiles looked like someone had gone at it with a toothbrush. The mirror was spotless. The cabinet behind it had been wiped down inside and out. Taped to the inside of the cabinet door was a piece of paper, handwritten, neat, small print, no signature, no date, but it said, "Rules for the apartment. Please follow them. 1. Do not run the shower after 11 p.m. 2. If you hear knocking from the pipes, knock back twice, never 3 times. 3. Do not look at the bathroom mirror with the lights off. 4. If the drain in the shower makes a sound like breathing, leave the bathroom and close the door. Do not reopen it for at least 30 minutes. 5. On the first night of every month, leave a glass of water on the bathroom sink before you go to sleep. It will be empty in the morning. Do not watch it. 6. If you follow these rules, nothing in this apartment will hurt you." What? What the fuck do we mean? Wait, what? What the fuck? Dude, okay, let's be so for real. Okay, out of story for a minute. Anybody in chat, if you saw this in your apartment, who's actually staying? I want a show of hands in the chat. Who's actually staying? If it's like 200 a month, let's say that 200 a month, something like Tattletale, literally Tattletale, burn the place. Freaky owls. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Welcome on in, welcome on in. You're staying 200? No, but you have to follow all these rules every single day. You're still staying? Okay, fine. What about like, I don't know, like, what about like 700 a month? Something like that. Something reasonable, I feel like. No, I'm cooked. I'll do it for 350. What's the most amount that you have to pay to be actually able to do this, do you think? No, I'm not staying. I'd be giving a priest call ASAP. Well, it feels like 700 what? USD? No, 700 fucking like twerks. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I feel like it would have to be, at most, it would have to be like $400. Because I feel like that's about as most as I would be able to stand this shit. Because you'd have to like think, you'd have to implement this kind of stuff into your daily routine. And if you forget it, then you're like fucked, you know what I mean? No matter how much I'm leaving. See, Kenshi's fucking smart, bro. He's like, I'm not doing this shit. I don't even know what it is. It could be a fucking all-seeing fucking entity. We don't even know yet, okay? You can't make that call that that you're gonna stay. You know what I mean? You got, we gotta keep going. We gotta see what the fuck's going on here. I'm gonna sleep with clothes off. That might attract it. You don't know. They ain't touching me. I think the clothes off thing is just for you. So I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it has anything to do with the monster. Okay. Shh. Can the next story be in Mandarin? I don't know how to read Mandarin. Hi Ben, how are you? Try your best. Yeah, you got it. It's not that hard. Do you wanna be on call and give your best ASMR impression? After what you put me through last, what did I put you? I didn't do shit. Fuck off. I think it's only three. All right. Let's continue. I took a photo of it because I thought it was funny. Sent it to a few friends, and we laughed about it. Weird previous tenant with a flair for the dramatic. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I threw the list away. First 2 weeks were completely normal. I started to forget the list existed. On the third week, I took a shower at midnight. I work late sometimes and didn't think about it until I was already under the water. Nothing happened. I dried off, went to bed, and felt pleased with myself for not being superstitious. Hi, Disaster. Hello. How are you? Take glasses because I was so trained. It wasn't that bad, okay? It wasn't that bad. You're being dramatic. The next morning, the grout between the bathroom tiles was darker. Not dirty, just darker. Like the color had shifted overnight from white to a faint gray. I told myself it was the lighting. Oh my god, did they give you two guys on Twitter? Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. We're just in the middle of reading a story right now, so. Wait. 4 days later, I heard the knocking. I was brushing my teeth around 10 p.m., and there was a distinct knock from somewhere inside the wall, behind the shower. 2 sharp taps. Then silence. Then 2 more. I remembered the rule. Knock back twice. Never 3 times. I didn't knock at all, because I'm a grown adult, and I don't knock on walls because a piece of paper told me to. This guy's fucked. This guy is so fucked. Can you do a scary story about taxes? You know, I was gonna make a joke about that, but that would be terrifying. You're right. Okay. He's getting his pants pulled down. Gigi, yeah, Gigi, he's gone. He's gone. Okay. The knocking came back that night at 2 a.m. Louder. Not from the bathroom wall, from the wall next to my bed. 2 knocks, pause. 2 knocks, pause. It went on for about 40 minutes. I put my earbuds in and eventually fell asleep. The next morning, the grout was darker again, noticeably now. Almost charcoal in places. And there was a smell in the bathroom that I couldn't identify. Faint. Wet. Like the underside of a rock in a river. I started sleeping with the bathroom door closed. The following Saturday night, I got up to use the following Saturday night, I got up to use the bathroom around 3 a.m., half asleep. Didn't turn on the light, just walked in and stood at the sink. I was washing my hands in the dark when I remembered Rule 3. Do not look at the bathroom mirror with the lights off. I was already looking at it. I don't know how to describe what I saw. My reflection was there. The shapes are right. My shoulders, my head, the outline of the sink. But something about the proportions was wrong. The reflection's head was tilted maybe 2 degrees more than mine. Not enough to be obvious, just enough that the longer I looked, the more certain I became that I was not looking at myself. I turned the light on, and everything was normal. My face, my reflection, exactly as it should be. But my hands were shaking. I couldn't go back to sleep. Dude, he really is. He's breaking every fucking rule, bro. Like, what is this guy doing? He's just like, oh, okay. There's a list of rules. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's see if I can break every single one. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, okay. The next day, I dug the photo of the rules out of my phone and read them again. I had broken 3 of the 6. Shower after 11, didn't knock back, looked at the mirror in the dark. I decided to follow the rest, not because I believed in them, but because I was running out of explanations for the gout and the smell and whatever I saw in the mirror. And following some rules felt like doing something instead of nothing. I skipped Rule 4 because the train hadn't made any breathing sounds. Rule 5 was coming up, first of the month. Leave a glass of water on the sink and don't watch it. I left the glass out at March 1st, went to bed, set an alarm for 3 a.m. because I'm an idiot and I wanted to see. I didn't watch from the bathroom door. I just listened from the bed with the door cracked open. For 2 hours, nothing happened. But at approximately 3:20 a.m., I heard something, and I will try to describe it accurately. It was the sound of water being consumed, but not drinking, not the sound a human mouth makes. More like the sound of water being absorbed, a soft, continuous reduction in volume, with no gulping, no breathing, and no pause. Like the water was being pulled into something that didn't need to swallow. It lasted maybe 90 seconds. I'm sorry. I just looked over fucking Zeus when I said it. Alrighty. Fucking Zeus. No, it's fine. I was losing it, bro. Dude, it was so funny. I just looked over. I just saw your stupid fucking smiling face. Sorry. I'm a professional, guys. I'm a professional. We have to get through this. I'm a professional. Relax, okay? It lasted maybe 90 seconds. Then silence. In the morning, the glass was empty, bone dry, not a drop left, not even a residue ring. And the glass was in a different position on the sink. I had left it on the right side, and it was now on the left, closer to the mirror. The grout was almost black. I tried to find the previous tenant. My landlord gave me a name, and I found her on social media after some digging. I messaged her. It took her 4 days to respond. Her message was short. You found the list? Yes, I said. Are you following the rules? I told her I broke 3 of them before I started following the rest. The shower, the knocking, the mirror. She didn't respond for 2 days. Then I received. I need you to understand something. I didn't write those rules. I found them the same way you did, taped inside the cabinet when I moved in. I followed them perfectly for 3 years. I never broke a single one. And nothing ever happened to me. Nothing. The apartment was quiet. The grout stayed white. The mirror was just a mirror. The rules work. Whatever's in that apartment respects them. But you broke 3. I don't know what happens when you break them because I never did. The tenant before me broke 1. Just 1. The shower rule. She moved out after 2 weeks and wouldn't tell me what happened. You broke 3. I asked her what she thinks is in the apartment. She said, I don't think anything is in the apartment. I think the apartment is it. The walls, the pipes, the tiles, the mirror. It's all one thing. And the rules are the terms it's set for living inside it. You broke its terms. I don't know what that means. But the grout changing color means it's angry. When I moved in, the grout was white. When the woman before me moved in, the grout was white. If it's turning dark for you, something has changed, and it's not going back. That's terrifying, Jesus fucking Christ. I haven't responded to her last message yet. That was 3 days ago. The grout is completely black now. Every line between every tile in the bathroom. It happened overnight. I went to bed and it was dark gray. I woke up and it looked like someone had filled every seam with ink. The smell is stronger. It's not just the bathroom anymore. It's the hallway outside, the bathroom door, wet stone, river water, something underneath. Last night, I heard the drain. The breathing sound from Rule 4. Slow, rhythmic, unmistakable. Not mechanical. Not pipes. Something pulled in air, pushing it out. Came from the drain of my shower, and it didn't stop when I left the room and closed the door. It's been going for 9 hours now. I'm sitting in my kitchen writing this. The bathroom door is closed, and I can still hear it from here. Slow, steady, patient, like something that was asleep for a long time is now very much awake. I don't know what to do.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you.
I don't know what to do. I can't afford to break my lease. I can't explain this to my landlord without sounding fucking insane. I followed the remaining rules perfectly for 3 weeks, and it hasn't mattered. Whatever this is, it's not following the rules anymore either. I just want to know one thing. The woman before the woman before me, the one who broke just the shower rule and left after 2 weeks. What did she see that made her leave that fast? Because I broke 3 rules and I'm still here. And I'm starting to think it's not because I'm brave. I'm starting to think that it's because it hasn't decided what to do with me yet. Shit. The breathing just got louder. And that's that one. How do we feel about that one, y'all? How do we like it? Holy fucking shit, dude. That one is fucking freaky. Oh my god. Dude. Nah, dude. If I'm they did as fuck, I feel sleepy. Well, hey, that's okay. That's okay. Just able to tune in, but I've been lurking. Well, come on in, Matthews. How are you? We're gonna take a second just to kind of relax together, because I know everyone's been, popping in and out. There's maybe a few people that are feeling sleepy. So we're just gonna relax together, okay? Drink some water. Got it. You're right. I should probably drink some water. Thank you for the stretch. Motherfucker has the survival instinct of a mosquito. I'm not used to the seductive voice. What do you mean a seductive voice? I'm not being seductive, am I? Am I? I'm not trying to be. I'm sorry, Daddy. Okay. Okay, let me see what else we have. Stop, you're making me blush. God, am I glad I have headphones. That's like the best way to watch this. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, relaxing day, too. What's headphones? I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me see. We've got a few more here. I want to see if there's any others while we're relaxing here with me. Still waiting for my repairs. I'm sorry. It's when you get ahead while you're on the phone, clearly. Yeah, of course. And you have to pretend, you just...
Yeah, I'm fine. I promise nothing's happened. Nothing.
What do you mean? What AO? What's wrong? Oh, this one looks cool. Hold on. Of course. Yes. Oh, fuck. Freaky out, puppy. What do you mean? I'm not freaky. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen, okay. Does this look freaky to you? I don't think. What part of this looks freaky, huh? Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. Okay. I think I found a couple more. Oh, okay. This one looks pretty cool. The best puppy. Am I the best boy? I think you all are good boys. I think you all deserve to be relaxed. You all deserve to just relax with me. You all are so good. You're not prepared? Hold on here. What are you talking about? You guys are all so fucking good. I'm so proud of you. You all are doing so good. Working so hard. I bet you all are tired. Can you take a deep breath for me? Can you take a deep breath in and out? Good eyes. Okay. All right. Enough messing around. All right, we have stories to tell. We have to lock in. Chad. Okay. Oh, hold on. Wait. What? Oh. Okay. What's gang? Hello. What's another torso? Fuck yeah, dude. Gather around the fire. Yes, gather around the flare for stories. Gather around. I promise I won't burn you. I promise. As long as you're good for me. Okay, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Pokes head at a burrow. You're gonna pull me? What do you mean, Sue? What do you mean? Don't pull me. Oh my god. Shush. Whatever. Okay. How are you, Pumpkin King? I hope you're doing well. Alright. Are we all ready? We all ready for the next one? This one is called I Woke Up in a Stranger's Life. Now I can't find my way back. Surprisingly, soft voices don't appeal much to me, but my GF calling me a bitch in the most monotone voice, I like that. At least you have taste, you know? At least you know what you like. This one is by It's LKC. LKC, sorry. Let me get up and close. Let me get close and personal with you guys. That's the issue, I don't know. Fuck, dude, okay. I don't know when it started. One night, I woke up drenched in sweat, staring at the cracked ceiling of my bedroom, and felt displaced. Not in the sense that I had a nightmare, but in the sense that the nightmare had been me, and yet it hadn't. My own mind was a stranger, and the memory of it clung to my skin like damp ash. At first, I chalked it up to stress, work, life, the monotony. But then I began noticing patterns. Dreams that were not mine, memories I had never lived, and that gnawing sensation that someone else's consciousness was bleeding into mine while I slept. I dreamt of a small, decaying apartment, in the middle of a city that smelled like smoke and wet concrete. I knew the layout. The broken radiator in the corner, the peeling wallpaper that curled like dead skin. I could feel it all. The fear, the regret. But none of it had belonged to me. In the back of my mind, a quiet, persistent voice whispered, "You're not supposed to be here." At first, the dreams were fragmentary. A man standing in the rain, staring at a locked door. A woman screaming with her mouth moving without sound. A child drawing shapes in a notebook that made my skin crawl. The images were disjointed, incoherent, yet painfully vivid. Over weeks, the dreams began to stitch themselves together, forming a story. Someone else's story. And I could feel it in my bones as I slept. Then came the bleed through. I woke one morning with mud underneath my fingernails, the metallic taste of blood on my tongue. The bedroom was exactly the same as the night before. I had been alone. But my hands, my body, betrayed me. They carried evidence of someone else's life. I tried to ignore it. I drank more coffee, walked in circles around my apartment, and forced myself to remember who I was. Yet the dreams did not stop. They became longer, more immersive, more invasive. Sometimes I would wake in the middle of a dream, still seeing the world through someone else's eyes, feeling the memory of a person I did not know, and hear their voice screaming my skull. Help me. It was not just a random horror. I began to notice details that did not belong in my life, but felt undeniably real. A silver locket engraved with the initials M.A. and a photograph of a family I had never met. A street name I had never walked. With every dream, I could feel myself sinking deeper into someone else's psyche, losing small pieces of myself in exchange for fragments of theirs. The worst was the man. He haunted my sleep like a predator. I never saw his full face, only angles, shadows, glimpses of his eyes. Dark, hollow, always watching. I felt his fear as if it was my own. I tasted his rage in my mouth, felt his despair sink like stones into my chest. He called to me sometimes, not in words, but in thought, in feeling. Why are you here? Wait, what do you mean? Wait, am I saying every text 2 times? Wait, what are you talking about? Huh? Are we fucked up? Did we die? What happened? Was something wrong? I'm sleeping. Why are you here? Get the fuck out. I only seen him once. It must be a you thing then. It's weird. Okay. I wanted to scream at him that I did not know, that I was not supposed to be there. My body obeyed him anyway, moving through dreamscapes I did not recognize. He made me do things I would never do awake. Walk into dark alleys, touch things that burned, whisper secrets that weren't mine. One night, I dreamt of drowning. Not in water, but in memory. I was standing at the edge of a cliff over a black lake. As I peered down, I saw my own face staring up at me. But it was wrong. eyes were too dark, the lips too thin, and the expression vacant. It whispered my name in a voice that was almost mine, almost someone else's. Then I fell. And the water was not water. It was the accumulated fears of this other's life, suffocating, clinging, dragging me down. I woke up gasping, shaking. For hours I could not tell if I had dreamt it or lived it. I began recording the dreams, every detail, every sight, every sound. My journal was filled with names I didn't know, places I had never been, feelings I had never felt. But then I realized something. These dreams were not random. They were leading somewhere, towards something, toward him, the man whose life I was slowly inhabiting. One morning, I opened my journal to find a single sentence I had no memory of writing. If you wake here again, you will not return. Panic gripped me. I stopped sleeping. I stayed awake for hours, days and nights, but the exhaustion is relentless. Eventually, sleep claimed me. And then the dreams returned, more incessant than ever. This time, I woke not in my apartment, but his. The same decaying rooms, the same peeling wallpaper, the same smell of wet concrete and smoke. My body, his body, was filthy, bruised, and trembling. I saw photographs on the wall, faces I didn't know, and realized with sickening clarity that I was inside him now. Fully, completely trapped. And then I understood. The dreams were not dreams. They were a transfer, a way to inhabit him, his life, his memories. If I stayed too long, I'd lost myself in the wrong thought. I would disappear, swallowed by the echo of someone else. I don't know how long I've been here. Days, weeks, months. Time itself seems fractured, and I can't stop seeing him. Even when I wake, his shadow hovers in my peripheral vision. His whispers curl around the edges of my mind. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I catch glimpses of other dreamers. Faces like mine, lost, drifting through corridors that aren't theirs. The thought that terrifies me the most is maybe someone else is inside me right now, dreaming me. The line between his life and mine blurred until it vanished entirely. I no longer remembered which fears were mine and which belonged to him. Every heartbeat, every shiver, every twitch of a muscle was shared. I could feel him inside my chest, in my gut, in my skull, pressing, whispering, demanding. Sleep became a trap. I tried to resist it, but the exhaustion is relentless. A predator that waits patiently at the edges of its consciousness. Eventually, I slipped into a dream that felt different, heavier. The air smelled metallic, thick, like blood shimmering in a closed room. I was standing in a hallway lined with mirrors. Each reflection showed me as someone else. Some were young, pale, frightened. Some were older, eyes hollow, mouths moving without sound. They all stared, and I recognized fragments of my own life in each face. The weight of their memories pressed on me like stones. A voice whispered from the mirrors. Not the man's voice, but multiple voices, layered, overlapping. I could hear fear, anger, sorrow, hatred, and hope, and I realized with horror that these were not dreams. They were layers of people who had become before me, trapped, drawn into the same cycle. Some of them tried to fight it, but I sensed their resistance dissolved over time, and they became echoes, living shadows inside the corridors of someone else. Hi, William. How you doing? How are you? How are you? This is not the flare I know. This is the flare you know. This is the flare you know. I'm chilling. Hi, Rose. Hello. 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 We're doing some ASMR, some scary stories right now. Okay, sorry. They became echoes, living shadows inside corridors of someone else. Then I felt it. A hand on my shoulder. I turned and expecting to see the man, but the space behind me was empty. The pressure lingered, heavy and suffocating. I heard him whisper. Finally, clearly. You cannot leave. I screamed, but no sound came. The mirrors multiplied, stretching infinitely, reflecting faces I did not know, and some I could not forget. Their eyes pleaded for escape, for release, and I understood with dread that if I failed, I would join them. My identity would dissolve, my consciousness a layer of shadow on the walls, whispering to someone else, someone new. I tried to run, but the hallway stretched endlessly, and my legs felt like lead. Every step forward was met with 1,000 steps back, the mirrors twisting reality, warping it, feeding on my fear. The voices grew louder. A storm of desperation and fury. I felt his presence coil tighter around me, as if savoring my terror. I came to a room at the end of the hall. The door was black, warped, pulsing slightly as if breathing. A sense of inevitability washed over me. I opened it. Inside was a bed, simple, unmade, and on it lay a figure shrouded in shadows. I recognized him immediately. The man whose dreams I had stolen, whose life I had begun to inhabit. He looked like he had aged decades in days. His eyes hollowed, haunted. He turned his head towards me and smiled, a thin, cruel curve of lips that did not belong on him or me. His hand reached out, and in that instant I felt something ripple through my mind. Memories not mine flooded in, violent, raw, and intimate. I knew things about him I should never know. I understood why the transfer happened, why I had been drawn in, and why others had come before me. It was never random. It was a hunger. Something ancient and predatory lived in these dreams, feeding on the mind, growing stronger with each soul trapped inside. It was patient, meticulous, and it had chosen me because I was ready. Or it at least thought I was ready. I wanted to flee, to wake, to break free, but the bed pulled me in. The shadow figure's hand brushing my cheek, whispering secrets I could barely comprehend. I felt my own body dissolve, slipping into his, slipping into the presence that had haunted me from the beginning. My thoughts scattered, memories overlapping, until I could not tell where I ended and he began. And then I woke. I woke in my apartment. Or what I thought was my apartment. The walls were familiar, but everything smelled wrong. Metallic, sharp, acrid. The room seemed smaller, tighter, pressing on me. My reflection in the mirror was wrong. My eyes were too dark, my skin too pale. and my mouth curved into a shape I had never worn. A new voice whispered in my head, one that I did not recognize. Welcome. I stumbled back, heart hammering, but there was no one there. Yet I could feel it, coiling, a consciousness that was not mine, gripping mine, pressing against the fragile walls of my identity. The room began to shift subtly. Shadows lengthened, corners stretched, and faint, muffled cries echoed through the walls. I recognized them. They were the lost, the trapped, the others that had come before me. And I realized with a shiver of horror that I was one of them now. Part of the chain. Something moved behind me, not a shadow, not a reflection, but something alive, watching. I could feel its presence, its patience, its hunger. It had been waiting for me to arrive. I understood in a horrifying clarity that this was just not about inhabiting another. This was just not about inhabiting another life. This was about surrender. About the collapse of self becoming part of a dream machine that devoured consciousness layer by layer. I tried to scream, but the sound never came. I tried to run, but the walls shifted, guiding me, corralling me. I was trapped in a nightmare far deeper than any dream I had known. And then in the distance, I saw a door, faintly illuminated, a possibility, a lure, as if I Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry, I think a meteor just hit outside my house. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I had to mute it somewhat. No, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's going on outside. I think something like fucking exploded, sorry. Sorry, where were we? This was about surrender. About the collapse of self. About becoming part of the dream machine that devoured consciousness, layer by layer. I tried to scream, but the sound never came. I tried to run, but the walls shifted, guiding me, corralling me. I was trapped in a nightmare far deeper than any dream I had known. And in the distance, I saw a door, faintly illuminated. A possibility, a lure. I knew that if I stepped through it, I might finally wake, or I might step into another mind, another life, another endless cycle of despair. The shadows stirred, the whispers multiplied, the hunger pressed in on me from all sides, patient, insistent, eternal. I took a step forward, then I stopped. I realized the horrifying truth. Someone else had been here before me, and they were waiting for me. God damn. Holy shit, bro. God damn. Nice, good timing ads, good timing. We have good timing ads here. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna take a little stretch break. We're gonna wait on the next story. Go get a snack, go use the restroom, go get a drink. That was good, dude. That was really good. I wanna wait, hold on. I'm gonna go see if this guy has any other stories while we're waiting. That is his first story, guys. That's his first story. Wow. That's his first fucking story. You're doing great on storytelling. Thank you so much. I could stop listening, dude. That was actually really cool. I really liked that one. Oh my goodness. Are we all enjoying ourselves? Are we all good? You're back from ads. Wonderful, wonderful. How's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Everyone enjoying themselves, I hope. I hope at least. I couldn't tell what was going on in the story, but I liked it. Yeah, well listen, if you join late in the story, you can just relax to my voice. It's okay. It's okay. I quite liked the story. It was very dream-esque, and I very much like dream style stories because they're very weird. You know what I mean? Anything can kind of go, and I kind of like that. 100% doing that. Are you guys just relaxing? You guys just relaxing with me? Good. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day with me, relaxing. We have a couple more stories for you guys as well. Just a couple more. Okay. Let me see what we've got here. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so we have a couple options here. You guys want to decide? You guys want to see what we've got? We have... hold on one second. Okay, we have... that was a long story too, yeah. So we have one. Actually, this one's kind of long. We could just save this one. You know what, fuck it. Let's do this one first. This one is called... I work at a mental asylum. Everyone here is sane, happy, and perfectly healthy. That's a weird one. What the fuck? We have another one about a cave, but I kind of want to do the asylum one. Hold on. Okay. Alright, everyone back from ads? Everyone good? I hope we're all good. Let's go for the deal. Yeah, we can relate to it, guys. We can relate to it. Okay. I work at a mental asylum. Everyone is sane here, happy and perfectly healthy. By twisted urban tales. I applied for the job on a whim. It was one of the dozens of government listings. Anything that paid better than what I was making. Most of them I barely remembered applying for. So when I got the email back, I had to reread it twice. Patient supervisor, private mental facility, salary higher than expected. Almost 4 times higher. I accepted before I could talk myself out of it. A few days later, a letter arrived. No company branding, just an address, a time, and brief instructions. Report to Bradley, facility entrance. Role, patient supervisor, handover. I pulled into the parking lot for my first day yesterday. It was a gray Friday morning, and the sun was just starting to emerge, casting an orange glow over the large building. From the outside, it was exactly what you would expect. Brick walls, tall fences, cameras, tight security. The kind of place you just don't accidentally wander into. John, a man in his late 50s, stood in a dark blue uniform. I'm Bradley, he said, shaking my hand. You're taking over from me. He glanced up to the building inside. 30 years and I'm done. This time next week, I'll be on a beach with the missus, cocktail in hand. My fucking man. My fucking man. Bro knows ball. Bro knows ball. Okay, sorry. I didn't know he chill like that. My bad. Shit. I chuckled as we walked inside. The moment I stepped through the glass doors, I stopped. The inside didn't match the outside at all. Polished floors, purple carpet, marble reception desk. Quiet, and very expensive looking. It looked like a hotel more than an asylum. No shouting or chaos anywhere to be seen. Most of the patients are still asleep, Bradley said, as if reading my thoughts. You'll see more later. I followed him down the hall. This might be the umbrella. This might be the umbrella headquarters. Dude, where the fuck is Wesker, bro? I know this motherfucker Bradley is just Wesker. If he comes out and goes, "Hey, don't worry, they'll be out in 7 minutes," I'll fucking lose my shit, bro. They'll all be up in 7 minutes, have no fear. And they will absolutely want to play with you. Okay, shut the fuck up. You're distracting me. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay, so I'm just fucking with you. I followed him down the hall. The metal doors at the end had been wedged open with a shoe. He pulled them open and they slid apart. "Your job's simple," he began. "You get assigned 1 patient a week. Follow them, observe, and report anything concerning." "Like what?" He shrugged. "Honestly, nothing ever really happens." I raised an eyebrow skeptically. Just then, a door opened and a young man stepped out with a bathrobe and a coffee in his hand. He couldn't have been older than early 30s. He had dark hair, still damp like he'd just taken a shower, and he looked confident, relaxed. He smiled when he spotted us. "Morning." I leaned slightly towards Bradley. "Is he staff?" Bradley shook his head. "Patient." I stared. The man approached, eyes flickering briefly to Bradley. For a split second, he looked confused. And Bradley grinned. The man's expression snapped back into place as if a switch was flipped. He smiled again and held out his hand. "How the fuck do you say that name?" I'm going to call this guy Tavi. We're going to call him Tavi because okay, Tav. Okay, we're going to call him Tav. That is the weirdest fucking spelled name I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, guys. We're gonna name him Taffy. Okay. "Call me Tav. Good to meet you." I hesitated. Bradley chuckled, and Tav laughed. "Oh, come on," Tav said. "I'm not gonna rip your arm off." I started. "Not all of us are running around in straitjackets, you know," he added casually. "This isn't Arkham." Of course. That's a choice of words, what I'm saying. "Don't worry, I'm not gonna pin you to the ground and disembowel you or anything. That would be crazy." Huh? You fucking imagine. Okay. Bradley snorted. "Right," I muttered, shaking his hand. His grip was firm. When lunch came around, we entered the cafeteria. It looked more like a mini Michelin star restaurant than a hospital lunch hall. The kind of place that served a droplet of food in the middle of a huge plate. Bradley sat with the patients, not near them, with them at their table. I followed hesitantly and sat opposite him as the other patients filled in. Tav slid into the seat next to him, and a few others joined on their side of the table. Tav was now dressed in a sleek black Nike running top and joggers, like he just finished a morning workout. "So," Bradley began, "what did you do before this, John?" Office job, I said. Admin. Ah, the 9 to 5, Tav said nonchalantly, cutting into a steak. Used to work in insurance. I get it. Just then, a young blonde woman sat beside me. She looked between me and Bradley curiously for a second. Then a smile spread across her face as she turned to me. Brittany, she said, offering her hand. You the new supervisor? I nodded, shaking it. She was wearing an Apple Watch. What the fuck? Dude, is this the Gucci fucking mental facility? Like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This is like the Gucci mental facility. What are we doing, bro? What is this shit? Two other residents came around wearing Gucci handbags. What the fuck are we reading, bro? Dude, yeah. Brick her head, free watch. Like it was an accident. Jesus Christ. Okay. We gotta lock in, guys. This is a serious story. This is serious, guys, okay? We have to lock in, alright? Lock the fuck in. This is serious. This is scary story time. She needs to pull off her meds. Good. Okay. Okay. Lock in. She glanced at Tav across the table and they grinned at each other briefly. I noticed it, but I didn't understand it. Then she turned back to me. Someone's got to replace him, she added, looking towards Bradley. He's getting old. Everyone laughed and the conversation drifted to Bradley's retirement plans. It felt far too normal. Like lunch with coworkers, not mental patients. The tour with Bradley continued after lunch. Doctors in white coats nodded at us politely. I wasn't even sure who was a patient or who was staff. There were no gowns, no medication charts, no restraints. The common room had a fireplace and a huge plasma screen TV. Just people lounging around and chatting. It felt like a resort. By the end of the day, I didn't know what to think. Bradley handed me a folder, a small remote with a red button on it. Schedules, protocols, he said. Any issues, press the button and staff will come running. Not that you'll need it. And then he looked around the place inside. Well, I'm out. He reached into his pocket. And then he paused. Left my badge at home on the last day. Brilliant. I shrugged and handed him mine. Here, I said. Thanks. Bradley swiped it on the door and handed it back to me. Then gave me a salute and left. Across the room, Tav and Brittany were watching, amused. They probably just found it funny that he'd forgotten his badge, I thought. I headed to the locker room to grab my things. But the moment I stepped inside, the smell hit me immediately. Metallic and pungent. I gagged, covering my mouth. What the hell was that? The lockers looked like they were pushed out further than they were this morning. I stepped closer and looked behind them. And then I saw it. A body was wedged between the lockers and the wall. One arm twisted beneath him, fingers stiff and curled. His dark blue uniform was soaked, though. Blood was smeared across the metal, drag marks like he'd been forced into the gap after it was over. I screamed and pushed the button. The alarm sounded off and staff rushed in, crowding around the body. The director glanced down into the gap and looked up at me slowly. "Who let you in this morning?" he asked quietly. Everyone was silent. "Bradley," I said. He pointed at the body. "That is Bradley." Laughter erupted behind me. I turned around. The patients were crying with laughter. Tav was covering his face, and Brittany was almost in tears. The director took a tablet from security and started watching the footage. As he saw me handling the security badge, as he saw me handing the security badge to the man in the blue uniform, his expression darkened. Then his face turned red. "That," he said slowly, "is not Bradley. That's Ed." My stomach dropped. "You just let a patient walk out." He looked up at me, slowly, irate. His face twisted in fury. "You had one job," he snapped. "One job, you stupid government buffoon." The laughter behind me grew even louder. "That's not..." I stammered, mortified. I was just with..." "Did he even give you a uniform?" he yelled. My face burned as the realization dawned. "Come on, director. He's just a baby," Brittany said sweetly. "You're gonna make him cry." "Government wage slave," someone else snorted. "What did you expect?" The director turned to them. "You think this is funny? You think this is funny? You want this place shut down?" "Relax. We just wanted to see if Ed could pull it off." Tav smirked. "Didn't think anyone would be that stupid." "At least he gets you tax deductions." I stood there shaking. Not only did no one seem to care that there was a dead body behind the lockers, but now I was being violently berated by my boss, who I just met on my first day on a new job, in front of an entire faculty of mental patients who were joining in, and had all known that another patient was pretending to be a dead staff member for an entire day right in front of me. Fuck, dude. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, guys? Dude, fuck Ed, bro. What a bitch, bro. Never had a crazy person there drag you down to the level. Exactly, dude. Dude. Okay. Let's be so for real. Put yourself in this fucking experience, bro. I'm walking out immediately. I'm leaving. We're gone. I'm calling the cops as soon as I get out, and I'm leaving. I don't care how much it pays. The man in Jurassic Park, he had one drug. Dude, I know. Dude, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm fucking gone the second I see a dead body. You know what I mean? I don't think there's not a whole lot of jobs that pay enough to deal with this fucking shit. You know what I mean? Plus, you're surrounded by the people that, you know what I mean? I'm calling the SWAT team, no, genuinely, bro. Mental hospitals pay crap as well. It's not worth it. Well, apparently this one is worth it. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking know. All we know is it just pays better than expected. So what? Maybe fucking, I don't know. What's a normal salary for a mental physician? I don't know. Someone should look that up. I don't know how much they get paid, but probably not fucking enough. I'm gonna be honest. Probably not fucking enough. I know teachers don't get paid enough, and they're pretty much mental physicians. You know what I mean? Fuck, dude. Okay. Let's continue. Everyone good? Okay. Even the money's coming from life insurance? Okay, dude. Alright. The director waved a hand at security, who started pulling the body out. "Dispose of it," the director muttered. "Call legal." He shoved a uniform into my hands and glared at me like I was scum, then stormed out. The crowd dispersed, leaving me in mortified silence. The janitor walked in with a bucket and a mop and began cleaning like it was routine. What the hell is wrong with this place? I muttered. You, he said nonchalantly. I blinked. Excuse me? He leaned on his broom. No one filled you in, he said. No one here is actually insane. They just had lawyers good enough to dodge the death row and with an insanity plea. My mouth went dry. They all ended up here? I asked shakily. He exhaled like it was the most obvious thing in the world. Money talks. Same circles, same connections. They bankroll this place, keep it quiet. You're the only part they can't get rid of. Government requirement. The door opened again and I flinched. Tav entered and smiled at the janitor, ignoring me completely. Hey, he said to the janitor. How's the wife? Good, the janitor said, smiling. They shook hands and Tav passed a folded bill into his. Take her out somewhere nice. The janitor pocketed it and chuckled with a grateful nod of appreciation. Tav grabbed something from its locker and left. Didn't look at me once. So now, I'm the joke in a facility full of people smart and connected enough to get away with the worst things imaginable. I don't know how I'm going to get back there on Monday. God help me. I did not see that one coming. I'm not going to lie. God damn. Holy fucking shit, bro. Yo, that is one. I quite like the 07. Yo, can we get 07s in the chat for that guy? God damn, bro. That motherfucker is screwed. I'm not gonna lie. My guy's gonna be gone. No, genuinely. Fuck, dude. That dude is just, he's messed up. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably fucked. Okay. Alright. We got one more story for you guys. Because I do have to help with something today, so I won't be able to stay on long, but mental facilities pay employees an average salary of $82,000 a year. That's it? That's it? Really? What the fuck? Earning over 93. Wow. Dude, that's not a lot at all. What the fuck? I would have thought minimum 100K, to be honest. With some of the danger that they get put into, you know what I mean? Fuck me, dude. Okay, well, God damn. Okay. Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that. Okay. I believe this next one is about splunking. So if you don't know what splunking is, I believe it's about cave climbing. So, you know, the thrill where you apparently have the urge to go into a fucking cave and get stuck. I don't know if anyone in chat has that hobby. Yeah, there's a lot of, well, I mean, we could have talked about the Nutty Putty Cave, but that's been talked about to death. But thankfully, this is a fictional story that we're about to read. So, God's angel wants to do that. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm not gonna lie. I got stuck in a cave once. I'm not, okay. Anybody who's actually in the chat, excuse me, anyone who's actually in the chat that actually likes to go, like, splunking and cave diving or whatever it's called, right? If you act, I'm gonna get arrested. Jesus Christ, there's a cop outside. If anyone actually enjoys doing that, explain. I want to hear the explanation why, because I want to hear what the thought process is. You know what I mean? I got my first, what? First S. Nice, nice, nice. I've explored the Grand Canyon caves before. Lots of them still untouched. Yeah, they're untouched for a fucking reason. I was really bored as a child. That's why. I don't like. Okay, I get it. Like, it's probably the same thing with like skydiving, and like I don't know, like what other thrills. I personally like to explore abandoned buildings. That's what I like to do. There's a lot of risk that comes with that, but I have a thing where it's like, I don't like being restricted. You know what I mean? I don't like feeling. I'm not claustrophobic by any means. Like, to a point, I feel like everyone is. Why are there so many cops out, dude? I think there's actually, dude. What the fuck? There's so many cops going by my fucking house. Stories of it in real life are really scary, anyways. They feel a lot bigger as a child. Well, yeah, because they're smaller. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I get it. I'm not really claustrophobic to a point. I feel like everyone is, but if I wouldn't do it now, I feel like there's just like, I mean, maybe it's cool to like experience something like that and see something that's not really untouched, but it feels a little stupid, in my opinion, because there's not really a whole lot of reward to that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think who knows, you may find Batman? Yeah, but you have to also keep in mind, a lot of the caves, especially where I live, there's a few caves where homeless people live. And they're very territorial. Bless you, darling. And they're very territorial. You know what I mean? So if you go into some, like, even, that runs the risk of, like, the same thing with you, like, exploring abandoned places and stuff. Those are the scariest encounters you'll ever have. Like ghosts, you know, crazy, weird encounters, unexplainable shit, whatever. That's freaky on its own. Running into a fucking homeless guy in the middle of like the night in an abandoned place that you're exploring. You don't know what that motherfucker has. You don't know what he's been through. That's like easily the scariest thing that you could encounter there. Jokes aside, though, it seems like going to the unknown is unfavorable. I don't know, dude. There's something about going into the unknown. It's very interesting. It's very fun. But it's also like, I have so many bad stories about homeless people. I'm sure a lot of people do, to be honest. Well, okay, before we get into the story, I'm going to tell you my own story real quick, okay? This is a real thing. I don't know if I've talked about it on stream before, but we have something near me, right? We have something near me called Devil's Mountain. Okay? It's not really near, it's driving distance, right? But the residents call it Devil's Mountain because it is a open part of a cave, and supposedly, this is just the story. I don't know how true it is. I've never been inside. I would love to go inside, but I've never been inside. Apparently, there are Satanists, cultists, whatever you want to call them, that go in there and perform rituals. What kind? I don't know. What religion? I don't know. So don't ask me. But a group of friends that went in there that I know of did say that they saw like sigils being like wiped away-ish, but not like perfectly. You know what I mean? So there's like evidence of it up there. I don't know if it was, to enhance the legend that's over there, or if there was actually something going on, or if it was a bunch of teenagers playing a joke, right? There's a lot of things. I myself, to be honest, am kind of, I'm not a huge believer on that kind of stuff, like paranormal-wise, and don't get me wrong, I would love to be, but the thing about it is I haven't really experienced anything in my life specifically to the point where I can like convince myself, you know what I mean? I would love to have something convince me. I say that I would love to have it, but honestly, I think I would shit myself. But I would believe more, right? If something had happened to me personally, but close enough to Satan's ass, right? It says the Hellhound Paranormal. Yeah. Well, listen, I want to see something else. You know what I mean? Funny enough, I do have my sister actually experienced something, which is funny enough. I don't know if I believe her, but she said she was exploring, because we all like to explore abandoned stuff. But she said she was exploring an abandoned like school, elementary school or something like that, a building that was used for a school back in the day, and now it's like abandoned. She said she took her friend, and she was exploring. And you guys know when you're in the schools and they have like the doors that you can't slam, right? Because they're on like a mechanism to slowly like close it, right? Well, she entered the building, right? And she said it worked fine when they entered. Like they opened it, it wasn't locked. They opened it, and the mechanism seemed to be in working order. Mind you, it's an old building, so I don't know how much of this I believe, but opened it. It seemed to be working fine. By the time they were in it for about, I think it was like 20, 30 minutes, they said. Something around that time period, right? 20, 30 minutes, they felt a really bad draft. And so they were like, okay, well, there's probably like a broken window or something like that. Let's go see what's going on. They went to like a bathroom that was near that door. And as they were exiting, they looked down and see that door wide open. And she said, as soon as her eye caught that door, it slammed. And I'm not talking closed. It slammed shut and shook like the entire hall with the force that it closed. And my sister, listen, I'll just give you this. My sister doesn't fucking like lie about shit like that. She's never had a reason to lie about shit like that. So part of me like wants to believe her, you know what I mean? Because like she's never had a reason to talk about shit like that, like in that way. But I'm also like, I don't know. I'm a skeptic at heart. I hate to be, but I'm a skeptic at heart. I have to see something, to believe it. I don't know if we have any other skeptics in the chat, but it's frustrating because I want to experience something like that. And I go to all these, gotta head out, see you in front of the. Thank you so much, Matthew. Love you. Mwah. Hope you enjoyed what you heard. But I just wanna experience something one time to where I can actually like be like, okay, well that I at least I believe that, you know what I mean? I don't have to convince anybody else. At least I know what's going on. But anyways, I digress. So this one, we're getting off track. This one is about the caves. So there's a little warning off that if you're squeamish or claustrophobic or anything like that, if you're weird about caves, probably not best to listen to this one. This will be our last story that we read. This one is called I Lost 2 Friends to Those Caves. Here's Why I'm Still Alive by Forsaken Evidence 17. The best part about this one, I believe, is that it is a series, so if you do like this one, remind me, and we'll keep reading, but not right now. Alright, everyone ready? We're not gonna have ads in the middle of it. Okay. I'm gonna preface this by saying that I'm not gonna flash my credentials to brag, but I've completed the Thurlian Cave Walk 6 times now. I've done this enough times and did enough research with my friends that we've gotten as close as we could to do something that resembles a system whenever we go in there. A lot of people ask me why me and my friends would do something as willingly stupid as entering these caves. And the answer is simple. There's an old legend among the locals that if you complete the walk enough times and make it out alive, you get a boon. It could be a wish, an insight, an answer to a question. Anything really that's within reason. No bringing people back to life here. And that's thanks to the entity in these caves called the Wanderer. It's everywhere we go, dude. I read boon and I was like, God damn it, bro. It's everywhere, bro. We can't fucking escape DBD, bro. It's everywhere. Anyways, I read it, my mood just shifted, bro, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. Okay. And that's thanks to the entity in the caves called the Wanderer. Nobody knows for sure how it got there. And nobody knows the exact number of times they need to do the walk to be given the boon. But to the thrill seekers, that's part of the fun. Based on my research on the folklore and the locals that have survived, the number 9 comes up a lot. No one has ever reached 9. And that's also because of the Wanderer. Ironic. Now, before we go further, it's a fact that the Wanderer is just an entity and has been proven to possess habitat. So I'm dyslexic as fuck, sorry guys. It's a fact that the Wanderer is an entity that is proven to possess habits and characteristics that make it seem predictable. And that's just how a lot of these games and rituals gain a footing. But it is far from harmless. There's always a risk that it will do something the rules can't protect you from. Because the simple truth is that the legend has been around for God knows how long before people settled in that area, and they've learned not to go near it. But we've carefully crafted this list of rules based on thousands of years of folklore, historical documents, and survivor accounts surrounding the caves, and the thing that lives in them. I sound like I'm contradicting myself here, but I'm trying to make a point. The rules are not a guarantee of survival. They're just the best chance you have based on what we've figured out. We've lost 2 friends in that cave system. One of them understood the Wanderer and the rules better than anyone. His name was Kimber. He was 23. I was eventually going to ask him to be my best man. The other friend we lost was Donovan. He was 21 years old. Hi, Dream. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How are you, darling? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, we're in the middle of a story, in the middle of a cave splunking story, so it's really cool. He was 21 years old, and he thought he knew what he was doing because he read the same threads you probably have. The beginner-friendly guides that were written by people who got lucky on their first attempt at the walk and decided that made them an expert. I'm telling you right now not to listen to those threats. They always get at least 2 rules abysmally wrong. And they treat 3 of them as if they're optional. They're not. And it's gotten people killed, including those experts. They thought they understood what was in those caves, and they thought they could exploit its last remnants of sanity to create some kind of game. I'm not saying they deserved what happened to them. No one does. But I wasn't surprised to figure out that that thing that lives in the Thrillian caves proved them wrong. Why do you think they haven't responded to the comments and requests for more info in almost 8 months or more? If you want my 2 cents, my guess is because they tried the cave walk again with the same illusion of security they gave to people like Donovan, with their phones in one hand, screen glowing with a list of rules, and the other holding a flashlight. They walked in there like they had it all figured out, and they never came back. We'll go now, not feeling so good. I hope you feel better. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to do my best to make the number of disappearances lessen as much as I can by making sure everyone has the best chance of surviving the Wanderer. And make sure that if you know someone who is seriously considering going on the walk, you send them to the list. You send them to this list immediately. As a reminder, it doesn't work if you stand 5 feet deep in the cave and hop back out in a minute. That's just the area the tourists go. After the 4th marker, you're subjected to the rules. So here it is. My 11 rules for surviving Thrillian Cave Walk. This is freaky, bro. Oh my god, guys, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of fucking 11 Miles. This reminds me of the fucking 11 Miles story. Okay. Rule 1. night is not your friend. The daylight is. You'd be surprised how many people think that going into this particular cave system at night is a good idea. Don't add your name to the obituary. Trust me, your best option is to go in during the morning. Early morning, if you can manage it. You want the entrance light there for as long as possible to guide your way out on the home stretch. Rule 2. Go in alone. 2 or more is easier to find. I know how this sounds, but safety in numbers doesn't exist in those caves. The more people that are in there with you, the more noise you make. The more noise means you're more noticeable. And the more curious it'll be. Rule 3. Bring at least 2 lanterns, never 1. If you don't have just any old lanterns with flame wicks, then electric ones from your local outdoor store will do just fine. Just make sure they're not on the brighter settings. This is one of those rules that isn't optional. Do not bring a flashlight. The Wanderer does not like those. 100%, let's go. Rule 4. If your light goes out, stop walking immediately and relight it. Don't take 1 step until it's back on. Your lantern will go out at some point. Every single time. The key here is not to panic and not to make any sudden movements. Rule 5. If the temperature drops and your light dims, it's there with you. This is your first and possibly only warning, and I need to be clear. Not nearby, not in an adjacent tunnel. It is there in the same tunnel with you. The other guides treat this as like a yellow light, but it's not. It is a solid red one. And what you do in those few seconds will matter. Rule 6. If you hear footsteps that aren't yours, get your back against the wall and your eyes on the ground. Do not look at it. I don't care how tempting it is. Don't look up. Don't look forward. The light will be so dimmed, it likely won't matter anyways. But don't risk it. Sarah tried looking once, and she only told me snippets. Just a pale thing, almost like a face in black, but a face that had something over it. Sarah still turns 1 light on whenever she sleeps. Rule 7. If the footsteps stop and the cold doesn't leave, don't speak. Not even to yourself. Not even quietly. Don't announce yourself like the other guides say. Sarah's theory is that the Wanderer responds to the voices in a way it doesn't respond to movement or light. Nobody is entirely sure why, though. Whatever the reason, silence is non-negotiable here. If you have a cough, suppress it. If you need to cry, do it quietly. I had to do both on my 3rd run. Rule 8. If you feel a light, cold touch on your shoulder, don't run. I know. Every instinct will scream for you to run. But that risks you choosing any possible avenue to try to escape, and that's a great way to get lost. And the Wanderer has been walking every chamber and every tunnel in that cave system since before our grandparents and their grandparents were even born. It'll find you eventually. And I'm willing to bet that's what happened to Donovan. He was always a jittery guy. But your best shot is to squat on the floor, hug your knees with your arms, and make yourself as small as possible. It might lose interest and move on. Yeah, after just gonna hear it telephones, I'm good. Yeah, the same, bro. What the fuck? Fuck that. Rule 9. If you feel a cold hand gently grasp your fingers, don't grip back. If you grip back, it won't let go. But don't just yank your hand away. It doesn't like fast movements. Let your hand go completely limp and wait for it to let go. Rule 10. At some point, you will see a dim light further down the tunnel that isn't yours. Follow it slowly. Do not catch up to it. This one confused me at first, but the first time it happened, I nearly made a fatal mistake by stopping entirely. The light isn't a trick, and it isn't bait. There are moments when whatever's in this cave remembers, however briefly, what it was supposed to be doing before it got lost, before everything went wrong. In those rare moments, it will guide you towards the exit. Follow the light in a respectful distance. Don't rush it and don't call out to it. Just follow. It won't last long, but it's the safest you'll ever be in the caves. Use it as best you can. And there you have it. I know that I said this list had 11 rules, but I only mentioned 10. Well, that's because this last rule is more of a reminder that will affect how you interact with the Wanderer. Rule 10 makes it a lot more sense because of it. The guides either ignore this or say it isn't true. And I'll give you one guess what happened to them. Rule 11. It was a person once. Don't forget that. Don't let it forget that either. Me and Sarah have talked about this rule a lot, and it changed everything when we figured it out. It's part of the reason why we've completed it so many times, relatively speaking. This is the rule that gets dismissed the most because people read the accounts, see the folklore, and hear the stories, and they reduce it to a monster, a hazard, or something to be navigated around and survived. That's the wrong way to think about it. That's the wrong way to think about it. The people who treat it like a puzzle to be solved are the ones that go in all cynical and come out with their minds in pieces. If they come out at all. Because here's what the folklore makes clear if you actually read it carefully enough. Whatever's in those caves is not hunting you. It's not malicious. And it's not even territorial. It's lost. It's been lost for longer than any of us can comprehend, and somewhere underneath whatever it's become, there's still something that remembers warmth, that remembers walking beside someone, that remembers what it felt like to not be alone in the dark. And sometimes enough of what it used to be, shines through to understand that you don't belong down here, and it will try to guide you out. The touch on your shoulder isn't aggression. It's the hand reaching for yours isn't a trap. It's setting for you. It almost makes it worse, in my opinion. Should you feel sorry for it? I don't blame you if you do. But I'm for sure not saying let your guard down. I'm saying that if you go in there treating it like a monster, you will act like someone being hunted by one. You'll panic. You'll run. Just go in there knowing exactly what it is. It's something ancient and broken. It's been in there for so long, it's forgotten the way out. It won't understand why you're scared or why you're there, but if you make the mistake of breaking Rule 9, it won't understand that you need rest, or why you just stop moving after a while. But what I think it does understand is patience. It's patient enough to wait with what's left of you, still and unhurried. And I think it'd wait for quite a while to see if you eventually get back up. But it will move on into the silence of the black, eventually, and you'll be forgotten. Later on, I'll share a story from my third run about what happened a year ago, so you have more of an idea about what I'm talking about, but not yet. First, after I write this, I have to meet up with Sarah's classmate from graduate school, Petra. She just took a job as a document during the raid drive shift at the caves. some kind of heritage preservation program. There's a reason why the first rule is don't go in the cave system at night. And her job requires her to break it. So now, I have to prepare a different list of rules for her. It's a list I prayed I'd never have to write. Wish us both luck. You want to give it a hug? Dude, that was... Okay, so that is the end of that one as well. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. Damn. Okay, well... What did we think about it? Did we like that one? That one took a weird dark turn, I'm not gonna lie. Goddamn. Someone make that into a game, that would be fucking cool as fuck to see, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well that is unfortunately all the time I have for today, so we are gonna go ahead and I believe we're gonna go ahead and raid into Bitsy. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the follows, the subs, the bits. You guys are amazing as always. I will be back on Friday, I believe. Hold on, let me see. Friday, right? Yes, I'll be back on Friday playing some Dead by Daylight, and that's gonna be fun. But yes, all of you have a wonderful rest of your night, day, or evening. And as always, burn bright. Mwah.